Yo, what up, guys? Getting the car F1 here on a Tuesday for the Baku Azerbaijan Grand Prix review. Uh, I'm Ian, and I'm here with Cole,
Yo,
and yeah, right into it. What the fuck, Ferrari?
yeah,
Straight up,
straight up, straight up, nothing more to be said right there. What in the fuck is going on at Ferrari? Um,
double
Everyone saw it.
DNF.
Four Ferrari DNFs basically, if you count the Alfa Romeo and the Haas car getting shit out by the Ferrari power unit. So pretty insane. The only one that wasn't a power unit failure, I think, was Signs. I think they said that was a hydraulics issue, which again just compounds it. Like you can't even get your goddamn power unit right, and you're having hydraulics issues on top of it. That's crazy to me. I mean, yeah, I mean it's sad. Like, I mean, just go back to our first video when we were hyped up and excited for Mr. Charles Leclerc, and now it is just like it's dreary. It's sad.
Well, yeah, the problem is it's becoming like uncompetitive, or yeah, uncompetitive really, because I mean, when you have five drivers retiring in a race, that's not good.
No.
It's basically over, especially when two of the drivers are in one of the top teams. So
Yep.
then Red Bull was just like, guess guess we'll just chill for the last I don't know how many, 35 laps or whatever it was. Cuz
Yep.
yeah, I mean, Sainz went out first and he's had more problems this season. And then Leclerc takes the lead after Red Bull pit stop for both drivers, and then poof,
Yeah.
cloud coming out
Just
behind his car, and he's like, "Uh oh."
huge explosion too. I mean, that was a lot of smoke. I mean, just total failure. I mean, utter failure. I can't imagine lifting the hood of that thing. I mean, it must have been awful looking. I mean, and I don't know too much about it, but like they're gonna start taking the penalties because I think
Mm-hmm.
Charles, that was a new engine Charles blew up, and that was their second engine of the year already, and I mean they already have to put in the third, so it's guaranteed that late in the season they're going to have to put in another and take the grid penalty, which just compounds the fact that they're not going to be competitive. I mean, even if they, I don't know, man, it would take like a Ferrari type collapse out of Red Bull now for it to become truly competitive again, and I don't see that happening at all.
Yeah, me neither. Because really, it's just like they look, the past 4 weeks or something, they look great in qualifying, and then their race is just terrible. It's like
Yeah.
Red Bull. I mean, they probably can't anticipate it happening every week, but it's always just like Red Bull gets third and fourth or whatever, and they're just like, okay,
Basically pull.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, because
just
what Signs
bad.
is uncompetitive off the line, so you can just constantly overtake him even if you're third. Put pressure on Charles, and and like you said, the trend is you can almost guarantee one, if not both, is going to have an issue now. And
Yeah, strategy, reliability issues. I mean, even this race, Leclerc got blown off the line by Perez, who
yeah,
took the lead immediately.
yep,
Leclerc had a wheel lockup, and you're just like, what's going on here?
yeah,
That's why I don't even really react to Ferrari getting pole, because I'm like, are you gonna win a race or what?
yeah, yeah. What is it? 4 weeks in a row of
Of
pole
getting
and
pole, yeah.
failure. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What faith can you have anymore? They just can't even make it through a goddamn race anymore. It's completely ridiculous.
We're at the point where Mercedes, with all their struggles, are catching up in constructors because Ferrari can't finish races. It's like Mercedes isn't the quickest, but at least they finish every race.
Right. Exactly. They're not having crazy issues like that. They're just getting tossed around and having back problems, but at least they're finishing the damn race.
uh,
I wanna segment that into Haas real quick.
mhm,
Like
yeah.
I blame this week on the Ferrari power unit. And I think the other DNF by Magnussen in Monaco was the same thing. I think it was also a power unit failure, and that's a power unit they're buying from Ferrari. So really, I blame Ferrari for Haas's struggles at the moment. Like I'm not like at least the last two races. I think I went a little too hard on Haas last week, not really realizing the situation. But like I just don't know how much is it on them to make the damn power unit work, and how much is it on Ferrari to give them a fucking power unit that works. Like
Guan
I'm not
Yu can
sure.
blame them too,
Yeah, no,
because
Guano
it's
Zhu
like,
should be pissed, bro.
because I don't even. I'm not saying he would be doing like way better, but the dude doesn't even get to race.
Right.
He was actually looking pretty decent in this one, and then they're like, box car problem, and
Yeah.
yeah, of course he's pissed. He doesn't get to race. He's had like
Nope.
three DNFs in a row.
Yeah, I mean I can't imagine how frustrating that is. I mean, I'm as a fan of K-Mag, I'm unbelievably frustrated by double DNF in 2 weeks. I mean, that is so annoying. So, yeah, and we can save the more Haas talk for our Canadian preview, but I just wanted to get that piece in real quick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Red Bull, all I'll say is like, I mean, Perez is looking good, but if anybody really thought that he'd be vying for the title over Max, it's like, I don't, yeah, it's not gonna work that way.
Yeah, I don't
But
think it'll work out that way either. I could just because it's clear in the comms that like, and it was clear going into the season who the second driver is, and it's Perez. No
yeah,
fighting, and
it's
they're staunch on that. And I think Perez. I don't think Perez is the type of dude to say like, F that, I'm gonna fight. But we'll see.
yeah. I mean, it's Red Bull 1 and 2 in
Yeah,
driver standings now, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But in my mind, it's like it's Max's team,
yeah,
and I would be if the opportunity like presents itself, I would be surprised if they're not going to give him the win.
yeah. I agree.
Um, similar to Lewis and Bottas when they had that deal going on. But yeah, Mercedes, George Russell is still that guy. They're heavy complaining about the porpoising issue. Lewis Hamilton with his back pain.
Yeah,
Um, it's a little confusing to me. I don't know if it's like everyone is complaining about this or it's just Mercedes mostly. But
I feel like it's most of the teams have figured it out, right?
yeah,
I can't remember where I saw it, but I think it's Ferrari who's pretty much asking the other teams to bitch about porpoising, with the end goal being that the FIA has to step in and make some like you know
adjustment to the car.
adjustment to everyone's car to fix that problem for everyone. While you have on the other side the teams who have figured it out going like, well, yo, what the hell? I'm not trying to share what I figured out with the
Yeah.
rest of the grid because it makes us
Yeah.
better. And so I think Ferrari's bitching about it so that they can get some help figuring out the damn problem. So
Mercedes or Ferrari?
Ferrari's bitching about it
Oh, right.
because they
Okay,
want
yeah.
they want
Yeah.
help with their whip so they can attack Red Bull. So they're like hopping on the bandwagon with Mercedes and going like, "Hey, everyone, let's bitch about it so we can get the FIA to do something and help us."
But it's like what I see is it seems worse during some races than others.
Definitely.
So I think like your issue comes with, well, like how consistent is this issue?
Right.
Like if you like, I know it's been a topic, but if you're complaining about it every race, like as much as you just did after Baku, then maybe they would pay more attention. But it's like, well, how come some races you seem fine, and then other races you're like, this is so hard to drive.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it has a lot to do with ride height and technical shit that I don't quite understand yet, but I'm sure I'll understand better in the future. But as of yet, I don't quite understand. But it's weird, man. But I think we have to talk about the best moment of the race
Oh
by
yeah,
far, which was our young friend Yuki
from
Tsunoda
Japan, yes.
when his back wing, his DRS
Split
swing yeah, and I really liked how the announcer was like, I've
track.
never seen that ever happen in my life. Just split in half, and then he gets the flag that tells him he needs to come in and fix it or retire, and then just the AlphaTauri dudes just come running out with some goddamn duct tape and duct tape it down and slap him on the ass and say, "Get out there, buddy."
The confusion,
That's
yeah. The
awesome, man.
what is this? And they're saying like an FIA member is like trying to get down there as fast as he can,
Yeah,
just misses them.
storming down to the paddock, about to get pissed. They let him
Yeah,
finish though, so I guess it was an okay fix. But that was to me the highlight of the race. That shit was really really funny.
I mean,
We were tired, drunk. It was so early for both of us.
yeah,
Way
that made
earlier for you. I'll tip my cap to you hard on that one. 4 a.m. is some commitment, bro. 6 a.m. is bad, but it ain't 4 a.m. bad, brother.
that made the race. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I was like, yeah, let him finish it. Did he already lost his points because
Yeah.
he had to pit for like 40 seconds?
Yeah.
So just let him finish the race. I mean, there's all this concern of like it's gonna snap off and cause debris on the track. It's like, I don't think it'll snap off. Let him finish the race.
It looks good. Fixed
Yeah.
it. Tape will do it.
Um.
It's funny how versatile tape is, bruh.
Yeah.
Slap it on an F1 car and send it out there.
It just looked really funny.
It
I'm
really
sure
did.
most people can say they've never seen that before.
No,
But
no way.
last team I wanted to talk about briefly is McLaren and just how I mean there wasn't
Slight
much
improvement, I guess.
slight improvement. They both scored points this race, but they're not super fast. I just think the whole strategy over the radio at the end was kind of funny to me. How it was just like this convoluted, like Norris is talking to them, like, well, or no, the engineers talking to Norris back and forth. They're like, well, if Ricardo's not fast enough to make a push on Alonso, then you should let me go in front of him so I can try to get past Alonso. And in the end, they just stayed where they were
Yeah,
and
I
finished.
thought it was weird because those conversations seemed to be happening with like 5 laps left. And I was
Yeah.
like, brother, if you're gonna make that move, like it's now or never. Like Norris needs to go and have a couple laps to try to close the gap because it's not gonna work with you two training each other up there. Like there's no way.
Norris was even arguing still on the radio with like 2 laps left. And I'm
Yeah,
like, all right, no, like
like
the
dude,
it's
you're not
over. The
you're not
chance is
getting ahead of
over.
Alonso, and
Well,
your
yeah,
team's probably not gonna let you pass Danny Rick for what would he get? 8th place. It's not gonna
yeah,
change much, brother.
for one more placing, yeah.
Right.
But he seemed unhappy about it. It's just like I don't know what's going on with them, but
I'd be pretty pissed. I'd be like honestly, I mean, Danny Rick has been dog water McGee for a while, and I feel like Lando's probably just like, yo, like when is it gonna be like it's the Lando show? Screw this Aussie.
yeah,
And they should have already been doing that. And maybe they are, but last week it didn't look like it. I mean, honestly. I mean, with the way Danny Rick's been performing, I would have let Lando Norris go ahead immediately.
yeah. All
No,
I
no
can
questions
say,
asked. I would have said, Danny, get your Aussie ass out the way, brother.
all I can say is not that impressive considering both Ferrari drivers had to retire.
No,
Like
no, definitely not.
Mercedes, Gasly, Vettel, and Alonso all above them.
Yeah, no,
Mercedes makes sense, but
right.
the other
McLaren
three,
should be fifth and sixth at the
yeah,
least.
the other three, it's like, how are you not ahead of these guys?
Yeah, hard agree.
But
Gasly's a stud, and
yeah.
Vettel's. I mean, they're all the drivers who
They're
are
good
ahead of him are
drivers.
really good drivers. But
Yeah,
the car and the team and agreed all the
the
way.
expectations,
Yes,
we're talking
yes.
about AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, and Alpine ahead of you.
Yeah, two of
All
those
right.
teams are really funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the review. Semi entertaining race, but I mean it's like entertaining or shocking when when a retirement happens, but then you realize like you're gonna watch a pretty boring last 30 laps
Right.
because it's
No, for
basically
sure.
over now.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a tough little sled, especially I just think we got teased with the first three just being so good. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
hyper
now it's
competitive.
it's yeah, hyper competitive, great battles. Just not a lot of great racing as of late, unfortunately, but hopefully with the mid-season split coming soon that we'll see some improvements from some teams and maybe some new
Yeah,
storylines because we need them, bruh.
yeah. All right, that is our review done. Thanks for
Yep.
watching, guys. Canada
Subscribe.
next.